Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Thursday, March 6th, 2025. So, on the first Thursday of the month, unless there's a March -1 as a day, did you do the crossword?
I did.
And was it a first-rate crossword?
I feel like I did it on March -1.
Really?
I did. I was lost in this puzzle.
Oh.
Boy, I had a lot of trouble.
How did you find your way out?
I just kept plugging away at it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of figured out the theme, and then it made a little more sense.
I think it helps a whole lot if you get the theme. Because there are 4 answers that are then become gimmies.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I did fill out a couple of them once I figured out, oh, yeah, that would be a themed clue.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it also provides some confirmation that the crosses are correct.
Yeah, that's true, too. But boy, I don't know if it was just the way the clues were worded was not the way I read things or what.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a lot of trouble trying to figure out the answers.
That's very
to these clues in the puzzle.
That's very interesting. Can you give me some examples?
Well, like 64 across scrutinizes, and the answer to that was scans.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what else.
How do you feel about 55 across? Discarded tech devices, e-waste.
Yeah, no, I'd never really heard of that.
I put down e-trash.
Oh, let's see. Even just like simple ones, 24 across, look to pick things up, shop.
Yes.
You know, it was just like, I mean, it was a simple phrase, but it's like, look to pick things up. And it was shop, so.
Almost feels like it needs a question mark there.
Mm-hmm, right, yes. Uh-huh. Or 15 across, find more value from. Find more value from.
Right.
Reuse.
Yes.
So, yeah, you know, and once you get the answer, it's like, oh, sure, yeah, but it's just like, find more value from. How would you describe that in one word?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I agree. That sounds sort of off.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So.
I'm trying to think if I saw any. I mean, the one beneath it, well, this isn't really... The clue's pretty mainstream, but it's a rarely seen word, 18 across, word from on high, edict.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or 45 down, worn away, abraded.
Yes.
That's not a word you see too often. At least I don't.
Well, I was, my first thought immediately upon reading the clue was eroded.
Well, that's what I thought too. But
of course, it doesn't fit.
Mm-hmm.
It is a good thing that abraded and eroded do not have the same number of letters. I am grateful to whoever the inventor of the English language, which I take to be William Shakespeare, when they made the decision to make abrade and erode a different number of letters, they helped crossword solvers of the future immensely.
Uh-huh.
We had, let's see, 68 across, hitched together was yoke. I guess that was sort of pretty standard.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I didn't have too much trouble with that.
How about 54 down, Snapchat's ghost, e.g. logo?
I wanted to put icon, but at first I thought, oh, does it have a name? I didn't even think about logo, but does it have a name like Ronald McDonald or something?
Mm-hmm.
But apparently not. It's just a logo. Was it like Spook the Ghost or something?
I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Spook the Ghost. That sounds like an echo of yesterday's crossword.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one that I really liked, 31 across, tops at golf clubs, polos.
Yes.
That was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
At first I thought it was going to be pros, but then I thought, well, that doesn't really fit because I needed 5 letters for it. And then I was trying to think of, what do you put on top of a golf club, like a little booty or something to protect it? I mean, they are metal, so presumably they really don't need that. But
right.
anyways, it was indeed polos.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I had some trouble in that area. 41 across, blank read of urban legend, Tara.
Right.
Cross, 29 down, gymnastics star of the 2012 and 2016 Olympics, ALYRAISMAN.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea. So I was temporarily naticked at that R.
Oh.
Tara sounded right, but I couldn't get the crossword to solve. And guess where my actual mistake was?
With the I instead of Y.
No, because 36 across was untidy room metaphorically. Sty.
Right.
No matter how tired I am, I will always be able to spell the word sty correctly. It's somehow hardwired. But close to that, 43 across, Indian crepe served with chutney. DOSA.
Oh, yes.
That seemed just, I figured it ending in an A meant it just sounded so Spanish to me. Right? But dosa just doesn't sound like an Indian word. We have like the aloo and we have roti and naan. I don't know of anything that ends with an A like that. Oh, no. And anyways, and it crossed with 33 down, intensifying suffix in modern slang. So right away, foreign food, modern slang, I'm doomed. Anyways, 33 down was ass, and that gave you dosa.
Right. Well, and then 8 down, that was a stumper for me. Dissociative void, as in the film Get Out. Sunken place. Never heard that phrase before. Sunken place. I don't even know what that means. No.
Wow.
But something, I guess, some sort of a plot, plot type of move in a plot. I don't know.
Well, I was thinking there was a movie that came out of it. It was either Walt Disney or Pixar. And it was animated, of course, and it involved a jazz singer who dies.
Oh, Soul.
Soul. And for some reason, I saw, I started thinking about sunken place, and I thought, it's the reference, this associative void. They fell into it, and I was thinking it was Soul, but the movie here was called Get Out. I take it you've never seen the movie Get Out.
No, but I kind of know the plot.
Really?
It's about a couple. It's a mixed-race couple.
Okay.
And they go to visit the woman's parents, and on the surface, they seem like, oh, yeah, they're just typical people. But then as the time goes on, the man who is black kind of starts feeling very uneasy about things. And I think it's kind of a bit of a horror film. They kind of turn into, the whole neighborhood kind of turns into people against him, I think. Something along those lines. But I don't know. I don't know what Sunken Place is and how that relates to that movie.
Right.
I think that's the movie, Get Out, but
well,
I'm pretty sure.
I bet if we've got it wrong, we have listeners who will put us on the straight and narrow.
Please tell us what this all means.
Yes. So, getting back to the theme, there was a theme.
There was a theme. And it was kind of tough going because you sort of had to break a rule in order to get the themed words. Because the theme involved 2 answers that were identical. And that's, you don't usually just see that in crosswords, like never.
Right.
Right. You're supposed
they break that very rarely.
But they weren't really the same word if you know the theme. So 16 across was the first pair of the 4 themed answers. And it was brought into being. Okay, even that's a little obtuse there. Brought into being. And the answer was born.
Yes.
And then right next to it, 17 across, like one with renewed beliefs. And the answer there was born, but it wasn't really born because you had to infer that it was the second born or reborn, which, or in some religions, born again.
Right.
So, so it's like the second time you see the word, it's associated with something being repeated or doubled or, just a second of that particular word. So this one was born again or reborn.
Right. I'm looking at it in X Word Info, and they've actually got the answer as being born again.
Oh, do they really?
But I don't think there's nothing in the New York Times, like when you solve the crossword, there's nothing that indicates that was the word. It just says born.
You're right. Exactly. Yeah.
I guess but maybe Jim Horn, the proprietor of X Word Info, decided to sort of fill in the blanks there.
Or reborn. I mean, it could be reborn too. So anyway, the next one was 28 and 30 across. And the first clue, 28 across, was the great outdoors, which was nature, and 30 across was tying one's shoes example for most people. And the answer there was also nature, but of course, tying one's shoes example would be second nature.
Yes.
So, okay. Then we had 45 and 48 across, or 46 and 48 across, 46 across being graphite, essentially. Another cryptic clue, but it turned out to be carbon. And then 48 across, exact replica, which also turned out to be carbon, but not really carbon copy.
Right.
The second carbon copy. And then finally, the other pair was 61 and 63 across. 61 across being swallow, which was down, and 63 across being strengthen one's commitment. And that was down again, but I guess what? Buckle down?
No, double down.
Double down.
Right,
double
when you
down.
double down
course,
on something.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the theme.
Yes. So where did you discover it?
I discovered it with carbon.
Really? Okay.
Yes, carbon and carbon copy. So I'm like, oh, okay. Makes sense now.
I discovered it at the end with down.
Oh.
And then went back and realized what was happening in other places.
Yeah, born again, second nature.
But boy, when I got that down for the second time, I was like, wait a minute. There's something seriously wrong here. Because listeners, as we were just saying, you almost never, ever see an answer being repeated unless there's a good thematic reason for doing so, like right here. I mean, it was really a great crossword.
Well, and as you said, once you figured out that they were doubling the words, if you got the first one, like 28 across, the great outdoors, I got nature, and then 30 across, it was kind of looking like nature. So I just thought, oh, it's nature.
Yes.
And the same with carbon, graphite essentially. I got carbon and then exact replica. Well, it looked, I had a few of the letters and I'm like, oh, this must be another one of those doubles. So I just put in carbon again.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's when I kind of though figured out, oh, carbon copy. So yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I like those themes where they really drive you towards solving the puzzle, as opposed to the ones where after the fact you can say, oh yes, I see the pattern here, but it never really helps you like certainly this one did.
Yep. Yeah. No, it was extremely clever. But really, for me, I don't know. The clues were just worded so differently than what I typically think of clues as being in the New York Times crossword. So.
Well, this is Kieran Pandy's 6th New York Times crossword, and there's really they don't even have a picture. It's just sort of an avatar here. So I don't even. It's hard to say what was going on in their mind. Maybe they're from a different region of the country, the world, or something. Who knows? But I thought it was a great crossword.
Yeah, it was.
I like 26 across. One-time leader of the Sinaloa cartel, El Chapo.
El Chapo. I did not know the name of his cartel. I just knew he was in charge of the cartel.
I had the L because 22 down was send, and the answer was elate. And so I thought, oh, it's El Chapo. I just needed one letter to propel me across that. And I like the fact, again, 22 down was send, and then we had 66 across, send out, and that was emit.
Right.
Nice little bit of symmetry there.
Mm-hmm.
34 across. 48 of them make a cup, a bru, and it was teaspoons, TSPS.
That's right.
Do you think someone counted?
No, but I mean, there's 16 tablespoons in a cup. That's a pretty common known measurement if you do a lot of baking. So 16 times 3 would be 48, because there's 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon.
So which came first, the cup or the teaspoon? I mean, did they say, here's a cup divided up into 48 pieces and that each one of those will be a teaspoon? Or did they start off?
I think they probably just, just sort of measured how much people put into various recipes, and then they tried to equate it, so that there'd be some commonality. So
I'm assuming, you think about like the metric system, and they've got all of these very, very carefully calibrated and climate controlled standard measures. I'm assuming they have the same thing for like quarts and teaspoons and the like. There must be some place that defines it.
Probably.
What do they call it? The National Institute of Standards or something?
Weights and measurements? I don't know.
We'll have to investigate that. I want to know what makes a teaspoon a teaspoon. We had 50 down. I had a lot of trouble with 50 down. It was part of a pizza. Well, it was 5 letters, so it had to be slice until it wasn't.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, piece, you can have a piece of pizza. And then I eventually stumbled upon the correct answer, crust.
Crust, yes. It's not one that just pops out at you, right? When you think of a part of a pizza.
Right. It's sort of, it's like the end, the part you just sort of ignore.
Right.
And 14 across, a cunning hunter, a man of the field in Genesis. And so I thought Abel, and then I thought, no, it was Cain. Cain slew Abel.
No.
But then it turned out to be Esau.
Esau was the hunter, yes.
Well, I mean, Cain went after Abel. That's sort of a...
Well, it never said that Cain was a hunter.
I guess not, but... So, and then we had...
he was the third person on earth. They didn't think about
hunting in those days?
back then, probably.
The first ear, nose, and throat doctor, Esau, or Cain and Abel. 21 across, seller of Poang and Econacet chairs. And just those 2 umlauts there above the A's made me realize it was probably going to be, and it was, IKEA.
Yes. Now, that is one I did get right off the bat.
Good.
I knew that one.
Did you get 32 right off the bat? Absorbed? Wrapped?
No. No, that was another one. It's like absorbed, like sop up or sponge up or, but no, it was wrapped.
Yes. But now that one they've used quite a lot, right? I mean, they've used wrapped in sort of an unexpected way, it seems. At least I think I've seen that in the crossword like that.
I don't know. It stumped me for a while, but eventually I got it.
Meat designation on a food cart, 44 across, was halal.
Yes.
That took me a bit.
Yes, me too. And 37 across, pains, hassles.
Right.
Is the answer there, hassles. I don't think of those as pains, but I suppose you could say it pains me to say this, or, it's not physical pain, it's just a nuisance.
I use the phrase, what a hassle, all the time. So I'm sort of, that to me made perfect sense. I guess that's probably it for today then. So thanks everyone for listening.
Yep.
Hope you're enjoying these podcasts. Friday's crossword's going to be out soon, and we will tackle it, and we hope you will do as well.
Yep.
And then come back and hear us talk about it tomorrow.
Bye-bye.